Our top focus as of now, Britain today kicked off its biggest rail strike in 30 years as almost 40,000 staff members walked out in a dispute over pay and jobs. Today's strike is the first of three, with two more planned for Thursday and Saturday. Only a fifth of trains are due to run on half of the network, and many areas will see no trains at all. While operators hope to work on a special timetable, passengers are now being advised not to travel at all today. The action by members of the Rail, Maritime and Transport Workers Union is over. Pay and redundancies and more strikes are planned later this month and in July. The members who are taking part are not train drivers, but those who maintain the tracks, the signallers, the train station staff. This is why trains can't run, even though train drivers who are part of a different union are not on strike. Apart from this, there are also some 10,000 RMT or Rail, Maritime and Transport Workers in London, in the London Overground, who are also now going on strike over a separate dispute over pensions and job losses. And now for more on this, joining us live from London is our correspondent, Sally Patterson. Sally, thanks so much for joining us. Describe to our viewers the scale of this problem, the scale of this strike and how it's impacting the life of Londoners as of now.
Standing outside Farringdon Station, which is usually an incredibly busy station. First thing in the morning, we are seeing commuters come into work. We're seeing tourists roaming around enjoying the city. Today, it's a very different scene. We're seeing basically a few individuals wandering around looking quite confused. We do have some rail workers at the stations on hand to help, because really this is not the London that is the norm. Instead, we're seeing a much quieter scene. Now, London really has been brought to a standstill over these strikes. People have had to use the buses or potentially get on taxis to try and make their way into work, or doctor's appointments, surgeries, all the things that are essential to day-to-day life. And we've actually already heard that taxis have been boosting up their prices, buses have been ram-packed, so people have really struggled to get around. Now, it's also a very important time for school children. We're right in the middle of GCSEs, which are 16+ exams, and A-levels, which determine whether pupils will get into university or colleges. And we've heard stories of some pupils having to stay over at friends' houses or even stay in a hotel in order to make sure they get to their exams on time.
Sally, there's also a bigger controversy at play here. We believe the Boris Johnson government has a plan to get workers from agencies, which has rankled quite a lot of Londoners as well. Tell us more on that.
Well, we have already started to hear rumours, although it might be more than that the government is looking at changing the law about bringing in agency workers to cover workers, regular workers, when they're on strike. Now, this is currently against the law and really controversial, because, of course, what it would do is undermine the workers who are striking. Now, the RMT, which is the Rail Workers Union, says that the government must get round the table and come and negotiate with them over workers' pay, over security concerns that the unions have, and over redundancies that they say are unacceptable. But the government says, and Boris Johnson has reiterated to his cabinet on Tuesday morning, that it is not the government's job to negotiate with unions. Rather, the unions should be speaking to the rail owners, the railway service owners themselves. But the opposition parties and the unions say nothing is going to really get through until the government itself comes around the table and starts to negotiate.
Right, absolutely. Sally, thanks so much for all those inputs. Thanks for joining us from London at this hour. WION World is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news updates on the move.